Hello, hello, hello. Good folk, everyone. Here we go. Bezat Hashem, with the Shabbos, for Tzadikim, Sichos Haran, Bezat Hashem. I hope you all had a wonderful Shabbos, and we'll all have a wonderful week. So these are a few of the things that Baal Semtov said about Ahavas Yisrael. Obviously, Baal Semtov is noted, as introducing this union of Ahavas Yisrael, in a way that everybody, talked the talk, but Baal Shem Tov was the first one that actually walked the walk in a way that until this time there was a rift that was growing between Torah learners and the simple people. And to the point the simple people felt that, they have almost like nothing to do with the Torah. And obviously the people who learned felt that like simple people. Come on. They're not in our league. And the rift was going on, and Baal Shem Tov actually, zipped it up together, stitched it together. With Ahavas Yisrael was elevating the crucial importance of Ahavas Yisrael, and made the simple people feel that they're part of Am Yisrael. It's Hasidus and so forth and so on. So he says, "V'ahavta l'recha kamocha," and you should love your fellow Jew like yourself. And the other pasuk, Hashem tzilcho liad yaminecha, the Baruch Hu is your shadow on your right side. The Baal Shem Tov said that the same way that a person behaves down with his friend and his fellow with love and good midos, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will commensurately behave with him. Like a shadow, every movement that the person makes, the shadow also makes. This is how Hashem Yisbarach behaves with a person. Love your fellow men like you. Because the way you are, this is how I, Hashem, am. To behave with you with love and nothing but good. And the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh used to say that Ahavas Yisrael is the first gate that leads into the yards of the house of Hashem. And furthermore, Baal Shem Tov said that when you love a Jew, you love the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Because every Jew is a chelek of a kanimal, is a spark of godliness from above. And when you love a Jew, in other words, his inside, Mimela, you love a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Shem Tov said the Kodesh Baruch Hu sends an neshama to this world, and it lives, 80, 90, 100 years, whatever. The tachlis of this shlichus, the purpose for this shlichus, is so this person can do a favor to another Jew, bichlal, and of course spiritually. And the Baal Shem Tov said before his holy Chavraya that through the avodah of Mesiras Nefesh and Ahavas Yisrael, you are zoicha to a revelation in the neshama greater from the greatest lamdan, and the one with like the deepest into avodas Hashem. If you are working with Mesiras Nefesh to increase your love to your fellow Jew, you are zoicha to expression of the neshama more than that. And he said that the Baal Shem Tov said, and Rabbeinu also said, it's very important now with the time of the Sphira. You have to say a Perek Tehillim. I'm talking just one kapitel. I'm talking about one kapitel with herzige excitement. It's a good toil. It's a good work. It's a good investment for a Jew, Begashmius and Ruchnius. And that in Avos Yisrael, these are the two keys, a kapitel Tillim that you say with all the heat in the heart. And Avos Yisrael, these are the keys to all the heichelos of Rachamim and Refuah and Yeshua and all the gates of Parnasa. So it's Kedai, definitely Kedai. Lusat again Aleinu, Baruch Hashem. Now we will continue with Hashem with another story from Maaseh Tzadikim and Maaseh Nisim. This particular Maaseh happened, many years ago in Yerushalayim. There was one woman she's a washerwoman. She would wash clothes. And she was a big Yerushalayim. And she was an almona la'aleinu, without a husband. She was all alone from her husband and from her children. And she supported herself with very hard work, that she would wash the clothing for the richer people in the city. And the same way she washed the clothes also for a Goyish policeman that was standing guard on the Kvarim of Malchus Bes David on Har Tzion. One day, she brought the clean clothing to this policeman. This policeman was a big Rasha, and he wanted, to start a certain kind of a lila, some kind of libel on her. And he saw there's nobody there in the yard except him and the woman. And he said, listen, since you are a very, very important woman, I want to give you a very, very important gift. I want to show you the deepest room from Keved RebbeElimelech that no Jew has seen it for years and years and years. No, this Tmimis Dika woman, she said, obviously, it'll be a very, very important thing for her. Very, very happy. Immediately, you walk with her to the opening of the cave under the ground. You open the door, so you can go inside and see everything that is in there. The minute that this woman came in, immediately this policeman closed the door, locked the door behind her, and left her locked in this dark place. And immediately he ran to the Muslim governor of the city, and he told him that the Jewish woman is there to sneak in to the cave of the Kever RebbeElimelech. This is something that at that time, the punishment for this was capital punishment. When the governor saw her, heard about it, he became very upset. He said immediately, grab her, catch her, and burn her alive. Now, this poor woman, she saw what this policeman did with her. She understood this Russia. She understood what's going to happen. What's standing behind it, and what kind of judgment she again is a capital punishment. And so she fell on the ground and she started davening to Kodesh Baruch Hu, and she cried. Hashem should help her, to save her from this tzara. And Sichos David should stand by her. While she was still talking, she saw suddenly that room and that cave was filled with light. And an old man with an amazing countenance, standing there. And he took her by the hand, and he let her out with different kind of, almost like, Dungeons and Dragons, kind of like with all these until he took her outside of the cave. He told him, now go quickly to your house, and don't stay any other place. Immediately go home and stand back on your work and wash clothes, and like you always do, and don't let anyone ever know what happened to you here. So the woman wanted to thank this old man, but he disappeared. So immediately she went home, and she did what he said. And she was standing there, and she was washing. And at the same time, the governor came with a lot of, of his guards. Many of the Muslims catch a Jewish woman, the sinner, and they opened the door of the cave. They didn't see any woman. So this governor said to the policeman, "What are you joking? Are you kidding me? What is this?" So the policeman swore he saw himself, the Jewish woman, getting into the cave, and he called her by her name. So the governor sent some of his people to the woman to see if she's at home. And they found her sitting, standing there washing clothes. And she made himself like she doesn't know what they are talking about. She says, "Well, what do you want?" So they asked her, "What, did you leave home today?" She said, "From the morning until now, I'm standing here washing clothes. I don't have time to go out." So they told the governor that they saw, and they told him what the woman said. So the governor became very upset about this Russia policeman that, they made fun of him. And he said, "Okay, burn him." And that's what they did. From that moment on, all the people in Yerushalayim, honored this Tmimizdik Yeshamayim woman. And they supported her. They just wanted to know, like, what's the Maisa? But she hid it all until the end of her days. And before she passed away, she told that story. And the entire city was like, an uproar. And whatever it is that she owned, she left to the Kehillah in Yerushalayim, and she ordered, before she passed away, they went to Mechachomim, or say Kaddish after her, and that's the way that they did, and her good name remained as a memory until this day. This is the story from Ma'aseh Nisan. Baruch Hashem. I will talk a little bit about the RebbeElimelech, Sichos Haran, that this is something that is well known. That was the RebbeElimelech used to behave that way. It says from the Koznitzer Magid, he said that he saw himself from RebbeElimelech from Nizhensk that admonished himself in front of other people. And he said that he did really, really bad things that obviously he has never even thought of them. And because of that, many of the people that were there understood that he's really talking about them. And it took it to how they did a big tshuva, because they understood who it is that he was talking to. It's something that both him and the Rebbe of Zisha, his brother, used to do many times. It was not, this was, and the second saying, it was saying in Sefer Besaron, it says that he heard B'Shem Rabbeinu, the RebbeElimelech, that until the time of Rabbeinu Arizl, the main pillar that the Jewish nation used to stand on was the Torah. When their Torah was their profession. And in all those years, that was the main thing. From Arizl and on, started the pillar of Avodas Hashem. That became the main thing. That became the Iker, and he says, until RebbeElimelech. And he said, from then on, the main pillar is Gmilas Chasodim. Chazal said, Pirkei Avos, that the world is standing in Torah, and Avodah, and Gmilas Chasodim. RebbeElimelech said, until his time, it was Avodah, and from his time on, it became Gmilas Chasodim. And he said that the person may delay one before the other. And this is a big key to a lot of kashas and things that are difficult to understand. A person can begin to comprehend the self-awareness of the tzaddikim, like the Rabbeinu, the RebbeElimelech, from Muzhensk, Slusit again Aleinu. And now, Bezrat Hashem, we will continue with the story, the biography, the days of Rabbeinu Arizl. We are still, telling about things that happened. Who were the people that lived in Tzfas during that time? And this is it was called the Mavrik. After the passing of Rabbi Moshe Galanti, after the Ptira, after the Stalkus of the Alshech HaKodesh, the old Moshe Galanti became the Rav of Tzfat. He was also one of the Talmidim of Rav Yosef Karo, and he was such a prodigy that when he was 22 years old, the Rav Yosef Karo already allowed him to paskin halacha about Gittin and Kiddushin. And his great shuvas in halacha, he put together and printed it. Rav Moshe was born in Italy, and his father's family name was Engel. But because his tremendous midas, and he was a very, very, beautiful man, very good-looking man, the ministers of the country, the Goyim, used to call him Galanti, which in Italy means the beautiful, the shiny one. And as the years passed by, the name Engel was forgotten, and the name Galanti became his family name. One day, Arizl was already, sitting in Tzfas, and everybody already knew who he was. So Rabbi Moshe Galanti came to him that he should look at his forehead and ask him what he has damaged. So he can do tshuva. Now, at least like you knew the greatness of Moshe Galanti and his anova. He didn't want to talk about this. He says, I'm not worthy to give kavoda, tikkun, tshuva. But Moshe Galanti, just was stubborn. He wouldn't give up. He says, please be mekayim in the mitzvah of toichecho, of admonishment, of esametecho. It's min Torah. I know that my master can read from my forehead that which I am not aware of. So please teach me if I made any mistake. You'll be saving me, from purgatory. Shachas, please. And he begged him. Well, Arizl could not stand, the begging, and he said, the old Rav, and it's not derech eretz, he said, I see on your forehead the imprint of a Suffolk gezer, Suffolk robbing, Suffolk stealing. So when Moshe Galanti heard it, he was like, he was staggered. Immediately started, started looking what he did, trying to think, how did he fall and into such a severe thing like that? Now, Moshe Galanti was a wealthy man. He was a well-to-do man. He was the owner of a fabric material, that a lot of people work for in his factory, as it was. He said, it must be that I haven't paid my workers, the way I should have on time. So the old Rav got all his workers together and says, my dear workers, I'm begging you, each and every one of you, please make a cheshbon, how much your salary is, what it is that it's coming you from me. And anybody that finds even a smidge of a debt that I owe him, let me know immediately so that I'll be able to repay whatever it is I owe immediately. People looked at each other, and without hesitating, they said, the money that we receive, from your honor and for our avodah, is bracha in them. They are enough for everything we need, and they're still left over. So we don't have to fecheshbon, what's our schar. We have no idea if we're supposed to get more or not. I have no idea. So, my precious friends, Moshe's speaking, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, be very careful, to fecheshbon how much your salary is. Chas v'chalila shouldn't come to Gezel, because Yom Kippur does not atone for Gezel. And if the chas v'chalila, after I pass from this world, I won't be clean to live. If you are mekabel yourself from now on to be very, very precise with how much you're supposed to receive, even a less than shveh pruta, good. If not, I'm telling you right now, I'm closing this factory. It's not worth it to me. I don't want to be, to be guilty of gezel. He says, I don't care. He says, so for the day, all those days that you did not fecheshbon how much you owed precisely, here's what we're going to do. You take whatever it is that you figure that you should. Whatever is, was coming to you from before, according to your estimation. And he took like a sack, a big money thing that was filled with coins, and he put it before his workers. And the people felt really uncomfortable. I mean, nobody dared, send his head to take even a coin. I said, how are we going to take? Maybe our schar, maybe our schar is not more than what we got until now. Why should we become guilty of taking something that's not coming to us? So Rav Galanti is smarter than him. He says, just take, with full hands. And if you are worried about taking too much, I'm telling you right now, I'm moichel with mechila gemura on whatever it is that is beyond the cheshbon, and I'm giving it to you as a gift. But they were not convinced. It says, we are moichel with a complete heart, mechila gemura, if we're actually owed anything. Suddenly, from all the people that were there, an old woman came, and she came to the open, cash, and she took two copper pennies. That's it. And she wanted to go back, but Moshe Galanti, begged her, maybe, take more. She said, no. She said, it's enough for me. And she came back, she stood among the women. After these things, the Moshe Galanti came to the house of Arizl, and Arizl took a look at him, and he said, I see that the sin of the Oven Safak Gezel has been erased from before him. So Moshe Galanti told him the entire story, and he asked him to explain to him what was going on. What Arizl told him, this old woman that took the 2 copper pennies is a specialist. She's an expert. So she deserved to get a schar a few more pennies than anybody else. But you didn't pay her. You just paid her whatever it is you pay everybody else. That's the Safak Gezel that was in your hand. 2 pennies, not more. At kind the story of Moshe Galanti from Tzfas during the days of Rabbeinu Arizl, B'ezrat Hashem. Hold this for a second. Let's see. Okay, I can't see it. Okay, I'm worried about it afterwards. Now, B'ezrat Hashem, let's take a look at Sichos Haran for this week and talk about it a little bit. Right, 178. One day, the Rebbe Natan writes, I stood before him for the evening, close to Mincha, and he was looking in the window, at the road outside the window, with tremendous yearning, tremendous chilin anayim. And he told me about the day that is passing. And he said, what I still have to do in this world, you have no idea how much I have to finish, that I have to still do in this world. And looked at the day is passing so quickly. And he said in Yiddish, was ich hab zu tun in the Olam, what I still have left to do in this world. With a way of saying, like, you have no idea how much I have to accomplish in this world. So there are 2 things that we learn from this. The first thing, obviously, is the avoid of the tzaddik. For many of us, it is so easy to see what it is that we're doing wrong or we're not doing. And look at the things that we did in the past and what are we going to do with it and what kind of, what's going to happen in order to erase these things. And about the good things that we did, okay, beseder, we trust HaKadosh Baruch Hu to keep his accounting. His accounting is the way it's supposed to be. So the good is good. Okay, we don't have to worry about it. But the bad, how can we do tshuva on this? Rabbeinu said, and he gave a story, and the story itself is almost funny. He said that tzaddik has to do tshuva for everyone. And he said that the story that the mashal that he gave, he says, once a person had a horse. And the horse was a wild one. And so he wanted to beat up the horse. So he went and he beat up the horse with his fists. So his friend passed by and he laughed at him. I said, you can, beat the horse with your fist till the cows come home. The horse doesn't even feel it. What you need to do, you need to take a whip and really give it to him. So the horse will start behaving, let's not start behaving more tamely, not so wildly. Okay. So he took a whip and he whipped the horse. So the horse ran away. So this doesn't work. He says, well, okay, so what he needs to do, he needs to tie the horse. So the horse cannot run away, and then beat him. So he tied the horse at the tree, and then he beat him. And the horse goes wild again. So he realized nothing's going to help this horse. The only thing you can do with this horse is just shoot him. This is a crazy horse. It's good for nothing. So, but to kill the horse, I mean, it's a shud. It's just to kill the horse. There's no choice what he has to do with it. I mean, it says this horse is each and every one of us. The tzaddik has no choice. He has to do tshuva for us. Whatever it is that Kadosh Baruch Hu does with us does not bring us to where we need to get. We're like this crazy horse. What are you going to do? Beat us? We're still going to be the way we are. What? To kill us? Chaval. It's a shod. The only choice that he has is that tzaddik should do a tshuva for us, for each and every one of us. Come and begin to understand the greatness of the tzaddik that does tshuva for you. He does tshuva for you. In other words, you do whatever it is that you can. You beg Kadosh Baruch Hu to forgive you. You should do tshuva. You should learn Torah. You should, move a little bit, here in this world, towards the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Do whatever it is you can. The rest, the tzaddik already does tshuva for you. And regarding this particular Maisa of it is so easy for me to see what it is that I'm not doing, that I haven't done, that I did. I was Mechal Shem Shamayim, I did this, I did that. Look, each and every one of us goes to wherever it is that he goes through, went through, whatever it is, depends what age you are. And it is very easy to become quite depressed about this. What can I do? Okay, so you tell me that the tzaddik does tshuva for me, but did I do everything I needed to do? Am I doing everything I needed to do? What is that the tshuva for me? Whatever it is. And about the good that you did, beseder, it's in the bank. This is Maisa Yetzim. This is from the Sichos Haran. The same way that you know that you want good, and and I know that I did bad. And when I look at the bad that I did, I see that there's no way that I can fix it. So about this, I trust RebbeElimelech, I trust the tzaddik that he will do whatever it is he needs to do. But I also need to know that I did good. I did good. Bevada, I did good. So basically, I got to do tshuva. And without doing tshuva, as Rabbeinu says, I cannot do it without you, and you cannot do it without me. So I have this standing arrangement between me and the tzaddik. But at the same time, the good that you did is also active. You have to reach a certain kind of equilibrium in your mind and understand and be besimcha and realize, anachinami, you're far from where you understand that you need to be, but you're also not as bad as you think you are at the same time. And that thing that, I'm so bad and I cannot do this and this and that, it's also Sichos Haran. It's also Samech Mem. I want to tell you another little nekuda. Some people they're born with natural self-confidence. They're not afraid and they go and they do things and this and that, whatever it is, and in this world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives them all kinds of things that they will feel that they're actually doing things by themselves, whatever it is. But some of us, like me, have a very poor self-image. And, we can go around feeling that anything that I will do is going to end in tears. Somehow. What? I don't know. Somehow I'll get it wrong. Somehow I'll do it wrong. Somehow I'll follow it up. I'm going to be sorry. Everybody's going to be sorry. I don't know, but somehow that's the way it is. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? The answer is, I have to ask Kadosh Baruch Hu, with the koyach of the tzaddik, that by getting close to him, everything, getting close to Kadosh Baruch Hu depends on getting close to him. That the Kadosh Baruch Hu, Bezrat Hashem, will enable me to trust the Kadosh Baruch Hu, not to trust my fears, not to follow my panic disorder, not to find my lack of self-confidence, because that's just another side of the coin of koyach semyonti. I'm able to do everything, which means, it's me who's doing it, and I cannot do it. Anything is the other side of the same coin. You're not supposed to do it, because Baruch was doing it. Yeah, but okay, fine. We understand it. Theoretically, we get it. But when the pedal hits the metal, I'm still shaking. I'm still quaking. I'm still worried what's going to be here, what's going to be there, and how's going to be this and that. With other people that were born with, this natural subconscious, whatever it is, or because they were educated, or their parents were, whatever it is, they're like, by them, it's just natural. Just ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ribono Shel Olam, I'm better off than they are, because they don't know that you're the one who's doing it. I know for sure I'm not doing it. If it was up to me, everything will crumble into dust. I'm sure it's going to. So help me have a bitochen in you and be totally full of confidence, not because of me, but because I trust you. Because I trust you. And keep on keeping on. With this, you're zeicher to go along the road that leads to Kadosh Baruch Hu, to living with Hashem. To living with Hashem. I can't do it. I cannot have self-confidence. Ribono Shel Olam, you have self-confidence. I trust you. To be able to be zeicher, to go to to reach this madrega. I'm a scaredy cat. There's nothing I can do about it. But it's not about me. I trust HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's like you don't have any money and you speak to a friend, the friend has money, and you ask him, can you lend me this money? Can you give me money? Whatever it is. And he says, sure. You're not worried anymore. How come you're not worried? You're a coward. Things will follow. Yeah, but he told me he's going to do it. Kal v'chomer, ben b'no shel kal v'chomer, with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. The idea is to bear Kadosh Baruch Hu, to trust you, Ribono Shel Olam, to the point that my own lack of self-confidence and panic and whatever it is will not come into the question. It's like, I know you're going to be there. I know you're going to be there for me. B'schos of the tzaddik, I know you're going to be there for me. You can't talk enough about it, because each one knows with his own self how deep it reaches within him. But the idea is to beg HaKadosh Baruch Hu, al tzadikim, al chasidim, al pletz b'Eretz Yisrael, Sofreim, b'gei tzedek v'alenu, yimunu rachamecha, Hashem Elokeinu, v'ten sochal tov l'chol ha'avosim shecha be'emet, give a good repayment, good schar to all those who truly trust you. V'simchel keni imahen, and make me one of them. Will never ever be ashamed. Why? Because we trust you. I'm asking, help me trust you. So by this person, it's about learning Torah. By this person, it's about his relationships. By this person, it's about getting married. By this person, it's about going to the store and buying something. I don't know. This person is driving somewhere and he says, for sure I'm not going to get there. I don't know. Each one has his own issues. The Indian is trust in the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Lean, as I've been said, lean on my koyach, lean on my great strength. And when you do this, you'll be zocher to get to trust HaKadosh Baruch Hu fully. Without Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be mezakeh to have full trust in Him. And bitoch and shalom, that the point is that it won't even matter what kind of or how fearful we are, and how cowardly we are. It won't make a difference because we're not leaning on ourselves. We're leaning on the schos of the tzaddikim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu B'ezrat Hashem will deliver us. Akol yeh beseder. Everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. B'ezrat Hashem should all have a gevaldige week. B'ezrat Hashem, this Monday we'll continue sipurey Ma'aseh from the master of prayer. Baruch Hashem Kenan Ahara. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should help us. We'll be zocher B'ezrat Hashem to see the Gula Shleimo B'ezrat Hashem in Rabbi Aminu Amen.